So good afternoon. Uh, I hope 2 days have passed and two sessions we have completed. I think most of you would have tried what I have taught you in the workshop. Uh, so we will begin with today's session. So there are questions like some people want to try how to make different fonts in a single document. So first I will begin with that. Hope I am audible to all. Can you give some response? Okay. Thank you. Okay. So we will begin with font. Okay. So can you see the screen? So in the screen, so always the document starts with your document class. Okay. Here I have given the class as an article, and if you want to use a font, okay, even a font is defined by a package. Okay, that you have to note. So simply you cannot give a font. All the fonts are given in separate packages. Okay, if you want to use Times New Roman font, you have to use the package Times. Okay, this TG Bonum is another uh, font package, and if you want to use a different package, you have to use this font enc. Okay, this package you need to use. P1 is the encoding and font enc is the package name. So this package will allow users to select font encodings. What is a font encoding means? You have a font package. In the font package, different types of fonts will be there. If you want to select a different font inside a font package, you have to use this font enc. So what happens if you choose slash use package times means this will change the font of the entire document. Okay. So what happens if you use this package times means in the preamble. So the content that comes between the document class and the begin document we tell is just an preamble. Okay. So in that space, if you give use package times means this times font will apply throughout the document. Okay. So this will happen. So next thing, so you may ask a question, I want to change the font of only a particular sentence. So in that case, you have to select the font family. Okay, so this is the command, this curly bracket. Okay. I'll change the font size. Okay. So you can see this is the curly bracket, that is an open curly bracket, and another is a closed bracket. So you have to put the contents inside the curly bracket for changing the font. So you have to start with slash font family. So you need to know the contents what is present in this package times. So yesterday I have told you, you have to go to the CTAN package, check the documentation, then only you will come to know what are the font families present inside a font. Then only you can do this. So what happened? You have to choose the font family inside the bracket. This is the code for font family, that is QCR. It defines a particular font. Then you have to type select font and then you put your test. So what happens? This font family will apply only to this test. So we will see, and we will compile and we will see. So all these font families comes from this TG Bonum package. So now I have put the percentage symbol so that this part, whatever comes next to this percentage, will not get compiled. So we'll see the output. Okay. So I think you can see the output, how it looks. So today I am not able to share my whole screen. I don't know what is the problem. So I am not able to share only a particular document separately. So that's why I'm showing the codes first, and then I'm showing you the output. So you can see in this document, you have different fonts. This first line, this document is a sample. This line is created using the font TG Bono. And as you have selected different fonts, 4 different fonts we have selected. That is font family QCR, CMR, CMSS, and PTM. So this will encode your text in different fonts. Okay, this is the way you can do a document to change fonts. Okay, so next there was some question like how do I create, yesterday I showed you creating a document or creating a latex output using command prompt, or how to compile a text file using command prompt. So yesterday I showed the command as latex space your text file. So how you can compile it like, so you have to compile it like, if you want to have a PDF latex as output, you have to compile it as PDF latex, then a space and the file name. So this will give the output as PDF. If you compile it symbol as latex space file name means, if you compile latex space file name means, what you will get is a DVI file as an output. But if you compile it as a PDF latex, I will show you what are the contents present. So you can see the contents present in the drive is sample.txt. Only one file is present. So we will compile as a PDF latex sample.txt. So what will happen? Okay, the compile will go. If you look into the directory, okay, you have a PDF output. Okay, this is the way you can create a PDF output by compiling using your command prompt. Okay, so if you just type latex space and your file name, you will get a DVA output. And if you put PDF latex and if you put space and if you keep the file name, you will get an output as PDF. Okay, so that's the difference. So I think yesterday's part I have completed. So someone is asking like a question, what is T1 in the square bracket? This T1 is an argument which is given in the font encoding packet. Only if you give this command as T1, your document will be compiled in different fonts. If it is not given, it will not compile. So for this T1, what does T1 means, or what does some other arguments present inside the brackets, you have to check the document. You have to check the document. So then only you will come to know that is document for this font DNC package. Then only you will come to know what is this T1. So I told you can go to the CTAN website. Okay, you search for font DMC, you will get the documents and you get all the details from there. So someone has another question like, what is the difference between Word and LaTeX? Okay, Word is like what you see, what you get. You type something and you will be able to see everything. But in case of LaTeX, what happens is you don't see, you will type only the content. That is, you concentrate mainly on the content. Formatting, everything will be done by the compiling. So in case of your Word, you have to concentrate on the content as well as you have to concentrate on the typesetting. That is the format of the document. But what is the difference between Word and LaTeX? Is, according to me, LaTeX is much more superior than Word. That only you will come to understand when you create a document. So you have to create a article or a thesis. Then only you have to do the same thesis or an article in Word as well as in LaTeX. Then only you will come to know how much flexible your LaTeX is in creating a document. So this is about continuation of the yesterday's session. So now I will move to today's. Okay, so we will start with the mathematics part. So yesterday we stopped with this mathematics. So I will begin with that. Okay. So mathematics, most of the LaTeX documents, equations will be there. Equations has to be typed using some proper syntax. Then only you can put the equations in the correct place in LaTeX. So always you have to type a mathematical expression in between two dollar symbols. Okay, you can see you have to write in between two dollar symbols, or you can also use slash, square bracket, open square bracket, n square bracket, and slash. In between these two contains your mathematical equations written in LaTeX format should be present. Okay, so this is the way you can represent a maths, or to tell LaTeX that I am going to write a mathematical equations. So first one. So if you want to write 2 square, okay, you have to write 2 raised to 2. How you can write is, you have to first you have to tell I am writing a math equation. So begin with a dollar symbol. So you have to put 2. Okay, then you have to put an apostrophe symbol. This symbol is present in all the keyboards. You can see the key sits. Okay, the number key sits. You press shift and you press sits, you will get this symbol. Okay, you have to put this symbol, that is 2 raised to 2 plus 2 raised to 2 equal to 8. So if you put a math command like this, you will get this equation. So if you want to type square root, okay, if you just put slash sqrt, it will just put square root of 4096. If you want to have fourth root of means slash square root, in square bracket you have to put 4. If you put 4 means here you will get 4. If you put 8, 9, 10, or what are the numbers, so that number will come in this part. And then you can write square root of 4096. So you will get an expression like this. So next thing is like if you want to write an equation e raised to x plus iy. Okay, so x plus iy comes in the superscript. If you want to put both the things in the superscript, you have to put the up symbol, then you have to put the whole content inside this bracket. So here you can see, if I put 2 raised to 21, what happens is it will put 2 square into 1. Okay, so it will not put as 2 raised to 21. That 1 will be in the normal as a normal letter. So what are the things, if you want to add this argument to the entire thing, you have to put the whole thing inside this bracket. So you can see. Okay, then there are special symbols like your cup or cap. So these symbols are present in sets. So if you want to put a this up u symbol, you have to put slash cup. And if you want to put another symbol like down symbol slash cap, you have to put. Okay, you may ask a question. So I want to write a special symbol. So where can I find some help? So there are packages for complex ones like AMS Math or Math Tools. So in these packages, you will have the notations or how to use these notations, and that will be clearly defined. So you can use those notations from there. So we will see the document for this. Immediately there is another question, how to write differential and integral equations. So in the next slide I will tell you about that. So kindly be patient before asking questions. Just wait for me to finish the section completely, then you can put in your questions. So, or if you Some other guide is also there online. That is, this is a LaTeX symbol list. You can go to this link and download this PDF file. You will get all the symbols defined or well defined in this PDF. Okay. So you may ask, I have an unknown symbol. So there is one website. So this is a website. You can draw the symbol, and this website will try to find out what symbol you want to put it there, and it will tell you the exact LaTeX code. So next one, okay. You may ask, I want to write a fraction. How you can write a fraction means you have to put the command as /frac, okay. Then first bracket, that is, it will define the numerator, and the second bracket, that is a curly bracket, that will define the denominator, what should come in the denominator, and this will tell what should come in the numerator. So if you put /frac 2 and 3 means you'll get 2 divided by 3. You can also have multiple fractions, that is like you have to put /fraction. Inside the bracket you have to put, so again another /frac and 1 by 3. So you'll get 8 divided by 1 by 3 you'll get. So this is a multiplication symbol. This is not into. If you put your x in case of your in LaTeX, what will happen is if you put it as x and not as like your word. So what you have to do is, in order to put this cross symbol, you have to use the code /times. Okay, this is the code which is used for creating this into symbol. Okay. Then other thing is like if you want to put greater than and equal to, you can give it a /GEQ. So all the symbols or all the things I cannot explain in this presentation. So I'm just telling you what will do what. If you want to find out what symbols you have to use for your equation, you have to go and look into this documents to write or how to define which symbol in your LaTeX document. Okay, so if you want to have a fraction contains both square roots, so you have to begin the fraction in the numerator, you can put this code, and the denominator you can put this code, so you will get a neat document like this. Then next comes, you want to put brackets. Okay, brackets, there are 3 type of brackets are there, and 4 type of brackets. That is a normal bracket, then you have a big bracket, and again a little more bigger, and it's a very big bracket. So you can see if I put /big, okay, I have to put the command /big and I put a square bracket. Okay, what happens is it will make this symbol into a big square bracket. Okay, and if I put a /this capital BIG, and if I put this curly bracket, what will happen is it will put a big curly bracket, but the size will be very small when compared to this BIGG. So these commands are used for creating different sized brackets in your document. Okay, different sized brackets in your document, you can use these kind of equations. Okay. Next, summation. Okay, this also you can see in most of the documents. In order to create a summation, what you have to do is /sum. Okay, you have to put an underscore. Okay, underscore, you can there is a in the keyboard the button next to your numeral 0. Okay, that will see. There is another question, what does the square bracket indicate? That depends on your equation, that I don't know what does. If you want to use, you can use it this way. That's what I'm telling. I'm not speaking about the indication or what does it define, or I don't know about that, because that comes in your document. What you want to define, you can define. If you want to put a big bracket, this is the way you can put. So I don't know what does it mean. I'm telling just like if you want to put a summation symbol, you have to put /sum. I'm not speaking about what does a summation does. Okay, I'm not going to the mathematics of summation. I'm telling, if you want to use summation or summation symbol, you can put /sum. So what happens is if you put /sum underscore, you have this minimum and maximum. So minimum will come at the lower part, and if you put something here, it will come to the maximum part. Summation, if you want I equal to A to B, you have to put /sum. So here, instead of dollar symbol, they have put square bracket. This is also allowed. Okay, so what it does is summation underscore, open the bracket, I equal to A. So this will come below the summation, and if you put this above symbol and if you put B, that will come above the summation. So this is the way in which you can put this summation. So I will try to cover what are the maximum symbols, you will be using in your document. Next one is your integral symbol. So if you want to use this integration, you have to put /int. Okay, /int. Here also the same way. You have this lower and the upper part, that is integral 0 to infinity. So if you want to put this infinity symbol, that code is /infty. So if you put this code, you will get this infinity symbol. Okay? So if you want to put your integration in this form, limit x tends to c, so how you can write is, you have to put /lim underscore x tend to c. So x tend to c, how you can write is x /to. This /to will put an arrow mark. Okay, the /to will put an arrow mark into f of s. So if you write the code like this, okay, if you write the code like this, you will get the equation in this form. Okay. So we will see this first. Yes. So I'm creating a document class article, okay, and I'm using this package AMS Math. If your documents contains maths equations, be sure you include this package. Okay, if your document, that is either it may be a report or article or another thesis. Hello, someone is telling like your voice is distorting. So now is it clear? Okay. So yes, it is clear. Okay. So that is given like in the document class. If you want to use this math equations, you have to use the package /use package AMS math. So this, without this package, if you are not using this package, most of the symbols you are using will not combine. Okay, all these symbols are defined in this AMS math package, like your times, or it may be a /frac, or it may be this /GEQ, that is the greater than or equal to symbol. So in order to use these things, you need to have this package AMS math. Okay, so you are starting the section like basic mathematics. So you can use this equations in line also. If you want to have a paragraph which contains some math expressions, you just put dollar symbol, put your math equations and end it with a dollar symbol. So that's the thing. And I will tell how you write equations with the numbering, because if you write in this way, no equation numbering will come. So in your thesis or documents, it is very important to have equation number so that you can cross refer your equations. But if you put this / square bracket and n square bracket, there will not be any numbering for your equation. So I will compile. So I think you can see the output PDF. So in this PDF, you can see how the math equations are neatly typed in line as well as separate equations. So these kind of expressions, you see in the second part, you have some expressions like a by b by c into d by e by f greater than or equal to 1. So these kind of expressions, you will not be able to type in Word that easily. In that way, LaTeX is very much advantageous. Okay, LaTeX is having very much advantages. So this is the first part for the mathematics. So next we will be seeing about this matrices. Okay, we'll see about matrix. Matrix will always start with slash begin matrix and it will end with slash end matrix. Okay, so you can have different forms, like if you have to write a matrix without border, you can put just matrix. If you want a round bracket, you can put p matrix. So in this part and in this part, if you put p matrix, you will have a matrix with a round bracket. And you can have b matrix, you will have matrix with box bracket. You can have capital B, you will have a curly bracket. Okay, you can have V matrix, that you'll have a single line. You can have capital V matrix, you'll have two line. Okay, so we will see an example. Okay, I'll show you the example how to write this matrix form. Okay, you have the screen. So in this you can see here also I am using the AMS package. Okay, so I told every equation should begin with a dollar symbol and it should end with a dollar symbol. So first I will, if I put matrix, so what will happen? You will create a matrix without any bracket. B matrix means you will have a bracket. Okay. So if you want to have equation numbering, so you have to put the equations in between slash begin equation and slash end equation. So if you use this only, your equations will have an equation numbering. So otherwise your equations will not have equation numbering. So if you write or put your equations in between these dollar symbols, there will not be any equation number. So only if you put your equations between this environment, that is, this is known as the equation environment. If you put it in between the equation environment, your equations will have equation numbering. Some people will have long equations. LaTeX is having a big problem. Like if you write a long equation, what will happen? It will flow or it will go out of the page. Okay, if you have, for example, some people will know this regression equation. So when you are doing this statistical modeling, you will have this regression equations. Though that equations will have if you have 4 factors or something, that will be a very lengthy equation. So what happens? This equations will not stay in that page. So okay, it will go beyond or it will flow beyond the right border. Okay, so in order to do that, what you have to do is you have to put this align environment. So this environment is used for splitting the equation into parts. Okay, so what you can do is, so although this regression equation is a single equation, but if you cut into parts, what it will consider is all the line as separate equation. So for in order to tell your LaTeX this is a single equation, you have to put in the first line, you have to put just 2 slash. Okay, this 2 slash means, I told you yesterday, it will break it and put it into the it will tell the document that next one is a new line. Okay, the next line you have to put slash no number. So what happens? LaTeX will put a single numbering only to this line, and for the other 3 lines there will not be any numbering. So we'll see one example. Okay, I will remove this number and we'll see, compile. Okay, you can see the output now. Okay, you can see the output. So what happens? You can see, as I have shown. So in the first part, you are creating a matrix without any bracket. So if you put this B matrix, you have this square bracket, and if you put this V matrix, you'll have this straight lines. Okay, I'll send you this code so you can run it and just compile and you can check the output. Okay, so next one is, if you put your equations inside the begin equation and end equation, the equations will have equation numbers. So in this part, so this part is created using the align environment. So your first line is having equation number 4, second line number equation number 5. That is because I removed the no number from the second line. So if I put no number, there will not be any equation number here. So the entire thing you can treat this as a equation number 5. So according to your convenience, you can modify this align environment. So this align, so when you are writing a thesis, if your equation flows and it goes into the edge of the page, means you have to use the align environment and you have to break your equation. LaTeX will not break your equation and put it into a next line. So keep in your mind, if your equation is very long, put it inside the align environment and break at points where you need to break. So manually only you have to put. So another question, it is not necessary to put dollar symbol for begin equation. Yes. So if you are using the begin equation and end equation, you don't have to put the dollar symbol. Only when you are writing a equation inside a test, means you have to put the dollar symbol. So if you are writing the equation inside the begin equation and end equation, you don't have to put the dollar symbol, because already you are telling the contents that is present in between the environment is an equation. Okay, so you don't have to put the dollar symbol when you are putting begin equation and end equation. So back to the presentation. So next thing is the big thing. What we are going to see is tables and images. So all the documents will have tables and images. So this is an essential part which will be present in all the articles or all the theses. In some thesis you can see just tables, and some thesis you can see just images, and some you will have both tables as well as images. Even if you have a graph, that you have to convert it into an image, and you can use it in your LaTeX document. So first we will see about this table. Okay, so tables will, you have to put the contents of the table inside this begin tabular and end tabular. Okay, so this is the condition. Okay, this begin tabular and end tabular, and this columns. So here you will specify how many number of columns are present. This also defines the position of the columns. This L means this column will be left aligned, R means the column will be right aligned, and C means the column, the contents of the column will be center aligned, and P means you can specify the width of the column. Okay, you can specify the width of the column, as well as if you are using the P environment, all the contents will be left aligned. So L means it is left aligned, R means it is right aligned, C means it is center aligned, and P means you can have to put a bracket, and if you put 3 centimeter, the width of that particular column will be 3 centimeter, and the contents of the column will be left aligned. Okay, so you are typing your first row of elements. Each column elements are split by and symbol known as and. Okay, so that's why I told, if you want to put this and inside your document, you have to put one backslash, then you have to put an and, then only this can be typed inside a document. So in case of your column, all the elements or the two cell contents are separated by a symbol and if first row, if it ends, means you have to put 2/2 tell. Okay, this is the end of the first row. Okay, next is the second row. Okay, this is an example. Okay, so this is a table. Okay, this is a table. So I have given this slash begin, open bracket, close bracket, tabular. So tabular environment is for creating this table, and you have to another bracket CLR. You can see first contents are center aligned. Okay, second content is left aligned because of this L, and the third content is right aligned. So here you have 3 columns. So you have CLR. So this, if you put another R, means what happens? You are adding another column. Okay, you keep in your mind, this letters will tell the LaTeX how many columns are present. So the first line you have number dot, you have and item. So this will separate the first column element of this cell element and this cell element, and this end of the line you will have this 2/. Okay, this 2/ means that tells that's the end of the line. Okay, So if you compile this, you will get this. If you compile this, what happens? You will get an output in this form. There will not be any lines. Okay. If you want to add line, what you have to do is, I'll tell you that. It's okay. If you put this P environment, so first cell or the column width is 1 centimeter, second one is 3 centimeter, and the third one is 2 centimeter. So this gap between these cells, it will increase. Okay. And okay, so this is about creating a document. So if you compile the same output, it will come. I'll show it later. Okay. What happens is, next you need borders in the tables. Okay, always you will not write a table like this. Just write it like a normal test, that is you wrote no, you put some space and you wrote item. Okay, so if you have this lines around this table only, you will believe that this is a table, or the person whom you are giving your document will believe this is a table. So in order to do that, what you have to do is you have to put a vertical pipe symbol. So this pipe symbol you can find next to that is the, if you put shift and press the backslash key, that backslash key is there, right? So in that, if you put shift and press that key, you will get this symbol. Okay, this symbol will give you a vertical line in the table. And if you put a horizontal line, you have to put slash h line. Slash h line, if you put, means it will start a line from the first row and it will end at the last row. And if you want to define that I want a horizontal line only between certain cells, means what you can do is you can put the command like slash c line I to j. I will define, it can be 1 to 1, means it will put a line only in the first column. Okay, that we will see an example. So this is an example. Okay, so here what's the thing is, you have this begin tabular. Okay, I put one pipe symbol. Okay, so it will create this vertical line. Okay, if I put this symbol, it will put this vertical line. Okay, and this vertical line corresponds to the next one. So if I delete this, means what happens, this line will not be present. Okay, this line will not be present. So if you put the pipe symbol in this part, that will create vertical lines all through the table. Okay, then you have this h line. Okay, you have this item, you have this h line. If you put a h line above this first row, it will put a horizontal line at the top. Okay, if you put another h line below this h line, what happens, it will put two lines. Okay, so keep in your mind how many number of h line you add, that many number of lines your lattice will create. Okay, so this is about creating tables with a border. Okay, next thing. Okay, so I told this c line, so you can see here one line is missing. Okay, here a horizontal line is missing between the uh, rows 2 and 3. Okay, or the columns between 2 and 4. So what you can do is, here is this is the code. Okay, this is the code for that. So you are telling the lattice, next to this line you create a horizontal line starting from first cell to the second cell, so that is this line, and another horizontal line from 4 to 4, that is the last column. So this line will not be present. So this way you can define lines in, as well as you can put vertical lines and you can put horizontal lines. Okay, so someone will have questions like I want to put dashed lines. So these lines are straight lines, I need some dashed lines. So dashed lines are also possible in latex. In order to put dashed lines, you need to use this package known as ARYDSHLN. Okay, that is dashed line package. The code for that is slash hash line. Okay, size of the dash and space between the dashes. Okay, this is the code. Okay, you can see here slash h dash line. Okay, there is an horizontal dash line. You can put open bracket and colon bracket 1 point slash 2 point. This 1 point will you put the size of the dash, and this 2 point will tell the space that is present between two dashes. So this is about your horizontal dash. If you want to add a vertical dash, you can put this colon. Okay, if you put a colon, that will create a vertical dashed line. Okay, so you can put this H dashed line 3 point or 5 point. So you can put this dashed lines. Okay, in the above example you can see dashed lines around the your table. Okay, so this is how you can create a table with straight lines as well as a table with dashed lines. Okay, so now you know how to create a table, and next thing is you also know how to create a table with dashed lines. Okay, next thing is not all the tables are uniform. So some tables, what we will do is we will merge the rows, and some tables we will merge the columns, and sometimes we need spacing between the columns. So if you look into this table, okay, you can see the space. If you look into this P, okay, if you look into this P, the space above this P is small, and the space above this P, below this P is very big or very large. Okay, this is happens because of the alignment problem. Okay, in Word you can do the center align. So here also one command is there, array stretch command is there. If you put that, the space above and below will be uniform in the table. Okay, that you will see, those things you will see now. So we will see about spacing the space in the table and merging rows and columns you will see. Okay, so if you want to merge rows, you have to use the package multi-row. If you want to merge rows, you have to use the package multi-row. That how you will use, you will put in the preamble, you have to type slash use package multi-row. Okay, so you have to tell latex multi-row in bracket how many rows you want to merge. Okay, you have to tell 5 rows or 10 rows. You can specify how many rows you want to merge, and what will be the width of the row and the content of the row. So this is an example. Okay, you see this 10 is present in the second line. Okay, this 10 is present in second line, but what I am doing is I am merging the second line and third line, and I'm putting this 10 in between. So for that command is slash multi-row. Okay, I am merging 2 rows, that is the second row and the third row I am merging. Okay, I am putting this 2 is for the number of rows. I am opening a bracket, close a bracket, and I am putting a star. Star means I am telling the lattice to take the whole space and put it at the center. Okay, if I am giving like 2 centimeter or 3 centimeter, this alignment will go up or it will go down. So now what I am doing, I am putting a star. I am telling you put this number, you merge these 2 rows and put it exactly at the center part. So this is how you can use this multi row command in case of lattice. So next one is we have this multi column. Okay, you see at the top I have added one line, that is stationary items. So here I am merging 4 columns into one. So for that your command is slash multi column. This is 4. Okay, I am putting a C, and this line is very much important. This pipe symbol between this C is very important. Then only you will get this end line and this end line. Otherwise lattice will delete these 2 end lines. So keep in your mind, and you can put this stationary item. So what happens, your lattice will merge this 4 columns. Okay, 1 2 3 4 columns, and it will put the stationary items at the center of the column. Okay, and it will create vertical lines at this end and this end of this row. So this is a command for multi-column. I think this multi-row and multi-column will be very useful for you. So then I told, right? Okay, here and all we can see this pen is slightly shift towards the top part. Okay, so what you can do is, how you can define this is, you have to use a command like slash renew command array stretch value. 1 is the default value. Okay, if you want to increase the value, you can put 1.2 or 1.3. 1.5 you put means what happens, this will be all the contents will be at the center of the row. Okay, all the contents will be exactly at the center of the row. So you have to use the command before the begin table. You have to put renew command array stretch 1.5. So if you put this command for all the tables, it will use the same method for you don't have to use this command in before each and every table. So if you put this command once before a particular table, all the tables that comes next to this command will be having an array stretch of 1.5. If you want to put some table back to the original space, means you have to give renew command array stretch, put 1. I told default value is 1. That's why I'm telling you default value is 1. Okay, this way you can make the cell spacing or the row spacing uniform in table, so that your table will look very good. Okay, so now I have shown you how to merge rows, how to merge columns, and space out test in a table. So now we'll go to into the code. Okay, so we are going to a code and we'll see this tables, creating tables. Okay, so I think you can see the code now. So here also in a table you have to start with slash begin tabular. Okay, so you can have this code C. Okay, you can see this code C. C means you are giving a central line for that cell, and if you put this P bracket 4 centimeter means what happens, you are telling the width of this second column is 4 centimeter, and R means this contents will be right aligned, and L means this content will be left aligned. So you can see, so each row will be or each element will be separated by a symbol, and okay, so this will present in the first column, and this will be present in the, that is first row first element, first row second element, and this is first row third, and this is first row fourth. So you have to, this is the way you have to create tables in latex. Okay, there are online tools available in some websites, you can search. I don't know which websites you can search. That is, you can paste your tables and it will give you a latex output. Okay, it will separate, it will put and in between and will give an output. You can just do a Google and you can find out. So this is the way you have to write a table. So if you put this pipe symbol here, what happens, you will get a latex document with vertical lines. Okay, you will get with vertical lines. So if you want to put have horizontal lines, you have to put slash h line. Okay, so in between every line you have to put slash h line, then only you will get this lines in case of this latex. Okay, so this is about your creating tables. Okay, so far we have I will compile this and I will show. So okay, so I think you can see the screen. So you can see I put this H line only above the first element, first row, and below the uh, first row. So you have got this screen. So there is no lines present in other rows. So you have to put the H line above, below of all the lines. Then only you will get, you have this vertical lines. So in this table, like what we seen in this equation, there is no table numbering. Okay, there is no table numbering. So if you want to have equation numbering, what you have to do is you have to put your equations in between slash begin equation and slash end equation. The same way, if you want to have table numbering, you have to put your table inside table environment. Table or environment, TABULAR, table or environment is created for creating your tables, and table environment will put captions and numbering to your table. So that we will see. Okay, hope you can see this presentation. Okay, so if you are using this table environment, what are the things you can do is you can add captions, you can give positions for the table. Okay, LaTeX is having a big problem, like and the LaTeX will not always put the table in the place you tell it to place. Okay, so you can look a book, you have read so many books, or you can have read so many articles that uh, test will be in one place and the table will be in some other place. That is, they will tell like the so and so content is represented in table 4. Okay, the table 4, the this written test will be in page number 2, but table 4 you can see in page number 3 or 4. So that is because of this LaTeX. It will place the table in some other page. So tables and these things are known as floats. Float means you can float tables and your tables equation environment, not equation environment, tables and your image environments are known as floats. That is, it can float anywhere. So your LaTeX will adjust your table into a place where it correctly fits, and it will adjust the text accordingly. Okay, so what happens is you can have syntaxes like T means it will put the table at the top of the page, B means it will put it at the bottom of the page, H means it will put approximately here. Okay, you see approximately, that is, this is not exactly at the place. Okay, so that is one problem with the LaTeX, because some reviewers or some people will not like that. They want the table to be present in the same place next to the test. Okay, so uh, so next is your table environment. So in this table environment, you will begin your code with slash begin table, and you will put your table or code inside. This is the position. Okay, you will put slash begin bracket table, you will put h means here inside this part, and you will put your table or code, and below this you will put your slash caption. So this will be your caption for your table, and you will give an slash en table. If you type this and compile, what happens? LaTeX will automatically type table 1 colon, or how it is defined in the class, it will type the caption for this table environment. So this is the way tables are given numbering in LaTeX. So another problem with LaTeX is like, if you have a big table, okay, big table is like some people will have tables spanning for 2 to 3 pages. Okay, so we'll see an example of that. I'll show you an example for long tables. Okay, okay, see this document you see. So this document is having is a long table. So you can see there are 84 uh, rows are there. So 84 rows means this will go for like 2 pages you'll go. So if you put the normal table environment, what will happen is LaTeX will not break your table in the first page, and it will not put in your into the second page. Okay, so we'll see that slash begin table. We'll compile this and we'll see how the output looks. So I think you can see this. See, this is the table created here. Okay, so what happens? You can see this only up to 48th line is present in this table. Okay, so your LaTeX will cut your document. So here you can see the page number. So your table is flowing next to the page number, and only up to 48th line it is showing. So your if you are using the tabular environment, the table will not be cut in a particular place, and it will not be flown, it will not be moved to the next page. So for that, what you have to do is you have to use this table or long table environment. Okay, what you have to do is you have to use long tables. For that, using this long table, you have to use this use package long table. Just you have to use the commands, that is begin long table. Okay, you have to just type begin long table. In the code you have to type begin long table, and at the end also you have to type /end long table. Okay, so you have this begin long table. Okay, and at the end also you can have end long table. So if you using this long table environment, we'll see what happens. So now you see the output, what happens. Okay, in the first page it kept the contents up to 35. Okay, 35, and you have the page number, and the next contents it is flown to the second page, and it can go into third page. Only long table, if you are using long table, you can break this big tables and put into separate pages. If you are using the table or environment, this is not at all possible. I showed you that. Okay, so someone may ask, I want this heading to come in all the pages. So for that, what you can do is, okay, you can use the command /end head. Okay, I'll show you that. You can use the command /end head when the heading ends. Okay, you see this part. Okay, you see this part. You have your first row, that is the stationery items. Then you have number and item. So next to the H line, I am putting this /end head. So if I am telling this end head, means I am telling this is a heading, and you try to make it in all the pages. Okay, so you can see you have the heading. You have the heading here, that is in the station item, that is in the first page. The next page also you have the heading, and the third page also you can have the heading. Okay, this way also you can create latex documents. If you don't want the heading, you just don't put this /end head. If you have the heading, you put just /end head next to the heading, and you will have the heading part in all the pages. Okay, so latex is very much easy in creating this long tables also. So that's all about your table environment. Okay, so you can add captions. Okay, how means you have your table. This is your tabular part. Okay, that is your first, what is a tabular part. You have to begin table. Okay, so this key means top. This can be top, bottom, or here. Okay, and after the end tabular, you have to put this /caption stationery item. So this will have an caption, and then you will have this end table. Okay, this will create a table with caption. Okay, so that's all. So if you want to create a list of tables, so we have this table of contents we have seen, right? Like that, you create a table with captions, and if you put this command /list of table, means it will create a list of tables. That is, it will put the table numbers, caption, and it will put the page number. You can try that. Okay, you can try this example. Okay, you just create some 2 or 3 tables in your document, and then the next to the begin document, you add a /list of tables. You will have a document with your list of tables. So someone is asking a question like what to do to continue the table or column in the same bench by the side of the page. If you want to like a long table, if it is flowing through, I think that's the question. Long table is flowing through multiple pages. You can put the long table in and multi-column environment. So we have seen this multi-column. You put it in the multi-column environment, and it will come to the next columns. So that's all. Next is including graphics. Graphics means images. So in order to include your graphics, you need to include the package GraphicX. Okay, the package used for including your images is GraphicX. So the supported formats are JPG, PNG, EPS, and PDF. So this is encapsulated PostScript format. Okay, PDF also you can convert your images into PDF, and also you can include in your document. You can also include PNG, JPG. Like BMP is not supported. There are other formats are also like a TIFF. These kind of formats are not supported. So you have to convert here. So you can convert your images into any of this formats, and then you can use. Okay, in latex you can do all these commands. Okay, you don't have to have a separate you don't have to open your image in a separate editor to resize or scale, trim or crop. You can do all those things inside the latex itself. Okay, so you can resize, you can scale, that is increase or decrease the image. You can trim or crop, you can remove unwanted areas, you can rotate the image, you can add border to the image. So all these things you can do inside latex itself. Okay, so first, how to include an image. Slash include graphics is the command to include the image. So next thing, you have to, in bracket you have to put the attributes. These attributes can be like trimming the image, what you have to do. You can adjust the height and width. So on the slides I will show you how to put the attributes. And in this curly brackets you have to put the file name with extension. Okay, you have to keep in your mind, you have to put the file name dot jpg or dot png or something. So this file you have to keep it inside the folder where you have saved the test file. Okay, if you are creating a latex document, anyhow you will save the file, so save that thing as a .tex file. You have to put the images also inside the same folder containing the test file, TX file. If you put somewhere else, it will not understand where you have put. So keep in your mind that images should be present inside the same place where you kept your text file. Okay. So this is a simple command. You can give slash include graphics, open bracket, close bracket, image.png. So this is an image. Okay, this is an image which is denoted by image.png. So if you give this, your latex will put your image here. Okay, so next one is if you want to see the size is slightly increased. Okay, this slide. So include graphics, you are keeping height is equal to 4 centimeter. If you keep the height as 4 centimeter, your latex document, what it does is it will increase the height. Same way, it will also in a proportionately, it will also scale the width also. Okay, it will also proportionately, it will increase the width also. So if you are keeping like width equal to 4 centimeter, see, it is a, you will have a small image. Okay, you can scale both things also. You can have width equal to 4 centimeter, height equal to 4 centimeter. See here, width is 4 and height is 4. You can, it will skews the image. Okay, so if you want to maintain the aspect ratio, you can either change the height or either change the width. If you are not bothered about the aspect ratio, see, it is this image looks good, and this image you look, it is squeezed. That is because you are changing both the width and the height. So this is the way you can change the height and width and height. Okay, next thing we will see this scale. Okay, scale means you are increasing or decreasing the size. So this is the size of an original image. Okay, this is the size of an original image. So this is a command used in latex to create a small image. That is like if I put scale equal to 0.5. Okay, if I put scale equal to 0.5, so what happens, it will create a, it will rescale the image to a smaller one. That is, it will reduce the width and height by 50% and will create another image. So that is about your scale. Okay, that is scale. So this is resize and this is rescale. I think I have answered one question. Okay. So okay. Next one, you can also have like scale equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 0.1. If it is the default scale is scale equal to 1 means you will have the original image. If you put 2 means it will increase the size by 2 factor. If you put 0.5 means it will create a smaller image. So this is like cropped image. Okay. If you want to crop an image, what is the command is you have to put slash include graphics, open the bracket, clip equal to true. This clip equal to true is very much important. If you put this clip equal to true, then only your image will be cropped. Okay. It will be cropped. That is, this is like, this crop is like, this is the left crop size. Okay. This is the left crop size. This is the bottom crop size, and this is the right top crop size, and this is the top. So this is like left, bottom, right, top. Okay, left, bottom, right, top. You have to specify the dimension so that it will crop accordingly, and you will get a cropped image. Okay, you will get a cropped image. Okay. Next, you may want to rotate an image. Okay, what happens? You can put include graphics bracket. You can put angle is equal to 60, so it will rotate the image by 60 degrees. Okay, just codes. You don't have to do it manually. Okay, just put 60. If you put 90 means it will put in a vertical way. You can put 180. You can have 360 degree. 360 and 0 will have the same image. So now you can scale a image, crop a image, and rotate an image. Okay. So I'll show you the codes. Can you see? So it is very much important. You have to use the package graphics X. Then only you can include image in your document. So you have to put include graphics image slash tiger. So here why I told initially like you have to put in the bracket like tiger.png. So that is the name of the image. But here why I have put images slash tiger dot. So inside the folder, okay, I have created another folder. I'll show you that. Okay, so you can see the screen. Then you can see the screen. Okay, so you can see at the top. So these are the text files. You have to put the images exactly in the place where you have put your files. I have created another folder known as images. Okay, so in that I have kept this tiger image of the tiger. Okay, so as I am putting this images inside this folder, I have given the command like, okay, images slash tiger.png. Okay, images slash tiger.png. So you can rotate image. You can put as angle is equal to 180. You can have multiple commands also. Okay, you can put angle in image as you can put as comma, and you can put scale equal to 2. Okay, multiple commands or multiple options can also be used inside this arguments. Okay, you can put multiple angle equal to scale equal to width equal to whatever things you want, you can put it inside. You can put multiple things and you can combine. So this is the way by which you can include an image in your document. So there is another question like, sir, how to delete a row or column in table? Row or column, you delete the entire line, that's all. Right from your first document, first word to including the slash, you have to delete. Wait, I'll show you that. Okay, so I think you can see the screen. Okay, so if you want to delete a row, just delete. Okay, you just delete and compile, the row will be deleted. Okay, if you may ask, I want to delete a particular column. Maybe for example, you want to delete the second column. Okay, you want to delete the second column. First thing what you have to do is you have to delete the initial thing that defines how many columns are present in your document. So first you have to delete this part, that is then P or C, whatever it comes here, you have to delete along with this pipe symbol. Okay, you delete. Now you have 1, 2, and 3 columns. Okay, now you have to delete this item along with this and. Okay, every line you have to delete it manually. You have to delete it manually in all the lines. Then if you combine, you will have only 3 columns. Okay, this is about deleting row or column in a table. Okay. So we'll go into the presentation. Okay, so now you can rotate your objects. Now if you want to add border to your tables, not okay, not table, border to an image. Okay, if you want to add borders, what you can do is you have to put a command like /fbots. Okay, that is your include graphics should come inside this fbots environment. Okay, that is /fbots, open bracket, close bracket, you put include graphics. If you have an image like computer.png, you can put it like this. So then what happens, you will get a border around your image. So if you want to have a thick border, what happens is in before this /fbots, you have to put /set_length fbots rule 2 point. Okay, 2 point or 3 point, that defines the thickness of this border. So if you want to have a distance between the border and your image, so for that you have to use fbots separation. Okay, if you have a if you want to define the line width, you can use /fbots rule, and if you want to define the distance between the image and the line, you can put /fbots separation. Okay, this is the way you can put. So there is another question like how to change the position of an image. So what you means if you want to make your image from one page to another page means you can just cut the code from one place and put it in another place. But another thing is like latex will not allow you to put your image in a particular place. For that one environment is there, float barrier is there. Float barrier means you are telling the latex document not to put your float, that is your image, from one page to another page. That is you are restricting the table environment in a particular page. That is known as float barrier. But what happens is if you put float barrier, empty space may come after your table. So those kind of problems are there. So better you allow document latex to put the image in particular place, and cross referencing you can do properly so that your documentation is proper. Okay, so cross referencing, tomorrow we will see how to cross reference bibliography, images, tables. So those things we will be see tomorrow. So now you can have borders. So next thing is like, so now we are seeing like only one image in a figure. Okay, we have seen so far what is like one image in a figure. So you may ask a question, I want to have multiple figures in a single figure, like some will have like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, so many figures they will have. So though that is known as sub figure. So sub figure, you have to have a package known as subfigure environment. Okay, so I'll show you this. You can have to have two packages, that is one is caption package and another one is sub caption package. So then only you can add this subfigure. Okay, you can add this subfigure. I will show you that example. I'll show you the subfigure example, then only you will understand. So initially we have seen this table. If you put the table in between this table environment, it will have table numbering. So the same way, you have to put the figure in between this slash begin figure and slash end figure, and you can add caption for that figure, so that below this figure it will have figure caption. So in order to do that, you have to put your figures in between this slash begin figure and end figure. So if you want to have multiple figures in a single environment, so this is the one. You have to start the command with slash begin figure, end it with end figure. Okay, so you have begin figure, end figure. So next you can have a sub figure. Okay, centering means it will center align all the documents. Okay, so you have environment like slash begin sub figure, and you are specifying what much space your image should take. You are telling your test width. Test width means from left margin to right margin of that 0.3 space. Okay, we'll consider if the space is 1, you can divide it into 3. Okay, 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. Then a little bit gap will be there. Okay, this combines 0.9, 0.1 gap will be given in between the spaces. So what happens? 0.3 divided by test width you are defining, and you have put in between the sub figure, you put centering include graphics. So for each sub figure you can have a caption. Okay, for each sub figure you can have a caption. So here I am added 3 sub figures. So I will compile and I will show you. So initially, I told you about this list of figures. Okay, so if you put the command slash list of figures, you will get a list of figures page like this. Okay, you will get a list of figures page like this. Then you will have the subfigure package. Okay, subfigure package means you have image A, B, C, and this is the main caption. This is the sub caption for individual figures, and this is a main caption for the total image. So next is like, so you may ask, so all the figures are kept in a horizontal. I want to have all those figures in aligned one above the other. So for that, what you have to do is you have to open the code. You have to add a space next to the end figure. Okay, this subfigure is there, right? If you add a space between this h fill and this end subfigure, what will happen? It will put the uh, arrange the images vertically. I will compile and I will show you the output. So if you look into the output, so now you see it is vertically aligned. Okay, so if you just adding a space between two subfigure environment, you can have this kind of arrangement. If the space is not there, you can have a horizontal arrangement. So this is how you can have multiple figures in a subfigure environment. So now you can create figures in a document. You can scale or resize your document. You can have sub figures. Okay, so tomorrow we will be seeing this referencing and indexing. So in that we will see how to add bibliography, how to cross refer your table inside the test. So those things we will be seeing tomorrow. So I think there is some 5 minutes left. So any questions you can ask now. So I'll be waiting for another 5 minutes. Okay. So if you have any questions, you may ask me the questions. I'll be waiting to answer your questions. So another question is there, like, sir, can we shift the whole one page to another page by a command? Yeah, you can put slash new page before the content what you want to shift to the next page. So it will go to the next page. You can put backslash new page. How to shift the image from a place to another place? That's a question. Is like how to shift the image from a place to another place. So can you be a little more clear in the question so that I'll be able to answer? Or you can email me your question, like showing some documents on what to what, then I'll be able to answer your question. So one more thing I want to tell you, like you will place your test, and next to your test you will place the table, and next to that you will place a image. But while compiling, LaTeX will arrange your tables and images. You cannot that easily specify the position of a table and images in LaTeX. Keep in your mind, LaTeX will LaTeX will arrange your tables and images while it compiles. Okay. To put 9 images horizontally and vertically within a page, should we use matrix form? No, you can use the subfigure environment only. No matrix, subfigure. You have to use subfigure environment. So how to align the image to left, right, or center? So here we are using centering. You can also left align. Yesterday we have seen this ragged left. So those commands, if you use, you can align your image to left, right, or center. So next question is like, can we be able to make PPT using LaTeX? See, the PPT what you are seeing, there is a PDF what you are seeing now. Okay, the in your screen. So this is a LaTeX presentation. Okay, this is a LaTeX presentation that is created using the class. Like you have this book class and you have this article class. This is used are created using a class known as Beamer, Beamer. Okay, I think on the 5th day I'll be able to show you a little about Beamer. Okay? How to create a simple document using Beamer. So that my answer is like, you can create presentation using LaTeX, but the output will be in PDF form. So your question is, can we be able to make PPT using LaTeX? So your presentation you can make, but the presentation will be in the form of a PDF. So you can, you can view in full screen means in PDF, that is in the Acrobat, you can go to view and there will be a full screen mode. You can see the screen. Okay, you can go to view and there will be a full screen mode and you have your presentation in full screen mode. So there are no more questions. Okay, thank you for listening. So my sincere suggestion is, please practice the files which I am sending you. Try to create some documents, then only you will have some questions. So if you have any questions, you can ask the questions tomorrow. So I'll be able to answer the questions and you can create good looking documents using LaTeX. So thank you all.